Well, howdy, kiddos. I ain't heard from y'all in a while, and I know you haven't heard from me. Well, Stuart K. Riley is temporarily back. I'm back for Thanksgiving and all that wonderful shit that goes on during the holidays. Anyway, I'm back for a little while, and I'm planning to do the news show and poops again and all that wonderful stuff. I'm going to need a few days, maybe even a week, but I am planning a big, humongous comeback with all the goodies. Anyway, I'm taking this free time off opportunity to do some videos I've been wanting to do for a long time. Anyway, I've got this book here. Yeah, a book. I got it from a Goodwill store. It's called Saturday Morning Mind Control. I saw the cover of this book, and I just could not pass this up. This is the most fucked up, retarded book I've ever read in my life. It's basically a bunch of scientists from the early 90s bullshitting and complaining about cartoons during that time. I'll start off by reading the back end of it. I'm going to read a little bit of this book, not the whole thing, just the best parts of this book. This is the most retarded shit I've ever read. So like I said, I'm going to start reading the back part so you'll know what's going on here. Colorful cartoons enchant young viewers and tease their curiosity, but Saturday morning programming plays havoc with children's mental and moral growth. Do you know what your children are learning? Ooh. Don't make the mistake of concluding that children aren't learning anything from television, says author Phil Phillips, which is obviously an alias. I'd hide my name too, Alan Smithy. Children learn by watching and hearing. They learn how to commit crimes, how to inflict pain, how to ignore the needs of others, what products are worth buying, and which people are considered sexually attractive. So by watching Looney Tunes, I learned that cross-dressing rabbits are sexually attractive to bald-headed hunters, or that French skunks have an overactive libido. That's a very interesting thought. Moving on. Phillips has studied over 1,000 hours of cartoons in order to document the religious, occultic, and satanic practices portrayed in children's television programming. Saturday Morning Mind Control, which focuses on the effect of the television medium on the minds of children and on the conflict between biblical and societal values, is the first book to thoroughly document these practices. It sure as hell is, because no other sane person would be retarded enough to think this thickly about programming on television. Well, let's open up this thing. Let's see. We're on the second chapter, Playmate or Teacher. Children's television as a whole. Furthermore, children can be sold on the value of almost anything. Useless toys hidden in cereal boxes are more valuable to small children than new cars. Their sense of value hasn't been developed. Under the age of 5 or so, they're highly impractical, open to suggestions, and fickle. What the hell is fickle? The two selling techniques that work best on children soon become obvious. Offer something for free. A child understands free. A child also responds to a commercial in which the product is shown to be popular with other children. Oh, the cool kids are doing it, Mama. Oh, the kids with the flannel t-shirts and the bucktooth and the glasses is with the spiked hair going, cool! Think it's cool! So I think it's cool! Thus, the advertising formula became fairly set. Advertise your product with a superhero on a program featuring the superhero with lots of slam, bang, action, and color. That's really on there. Offer something for free. Show happy kids with the product. We just covered that. Place your message in the right hour or half-hour time slot. And above all, encourage your children to press mom and dad to buy the product for them the next time they go to the store. So tell your parents, buy me, Boltstorm, or go to hell! Y'all remember that? Many of these threads came to get... Threads? What's this, a forum all of a sudden? Bump, 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 yay. Anyway. Many of these threads came together in a powerful way in 1983. It was a very good year. With the entire concept of the superhero took on a new dimension. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe hit the screen. It was a program with everything. It had superheroes. It was designed to sell toys to children. It showed lots of action, action, action. And it aired at the right time. But that time wasn't on Saturday morning. Woo! The networks rejected He-Man and the Masters of the Universe as being too violent. Undaunted? The creators of the show looked to the syndicated market, found a time slot on weekday afternoons, and in so doing, launched a new trend. Well, what was this trend? Let me guess, was it the walking around shirtless with blonde hair, or was it the wearing the pointy hat on your head? Oh, wait, I know what it was. Waving around your magic sword. Sex joke, herder. Are you bored yet? Wake up, you sorry sumbitch. We haven't even got to the good stuff. Here we go. The National Coalition on Television Violence, TNCTV, founded in 1980, considers more than 10 acts of violence per hour to be highly violent. Oh. The most network Saturday morning cartoons average 17 violent acts per hour. Keep in mind this was the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. I bet you anything if they watched any of that Seth MacFarlane shit or North Park or any of that crap, they'd really have a ball with that. I'm sure a lot of these guys are either dead or killed themselves by now. Some episodes of The Bugs Bunny Show average more than 40 violent acts per hour. By the way, the most popular Saturday morning cartoon among preschoolers is still Bugs Bunny and Tweety. The current Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated series averages 34 violent acts an hour. The Roadrunner cartoons were considered too violent in their day. You hear that? Like any of that's really serious. But it does make you think, though. It's perfectly fine to mutilate a coyote over and over again and mindlessly torturing him with shitty products. But then again, he ordered the products himself, so self-mutilation? Emo coyote? Huh? It's also got a list here of the most violent cartoons of the late 80s, early 90s. See, He-Man, 37 violent acts, Dungeons & Dragons, 67, G.I. Joe, 80, Voltron, 84 violent acts, and what the heck? Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future at 124 violent acts. Okay, I gotta see that. What the hell? Now, okay, here's my favorite part of this book. Now, you're not gonna believe this. This'll really catch you. What is acceptable? Television also presents a highly artificial view of what is acceptable behavior. Bart on The Simpsons animated series routinely has to stay after school to write on the blackboard such statements as, "I will not call my teacher hotcakes." While this punishment leaves the impression that Bart is being punished, it also leaves the impression that Bart is funny and that it's somehow cute for a child to address adults with slang words. In one study, more than 7 out of 10 parents reported that their children regularly imitated TV characters by using slang expressions and accents. Now here's the part I'm talking about. Acceptable human behavior takes on a whole new meaning on the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, programs and videos. On one drama segment, a niece of the brothers threw a party without permission from her uncles. The brothers decided to plug their ears against the loud music rather than exert disciplinary measures because they didn't want to hurt the teens' feelings. During animated segments of the Super Mario Bros. Show, wait a second, it says, instead of Super Mario Brothers, it just says The Super Mario Brothers. Not the name of the show, just The Super Mario Brothers. You may well see a 3-headed snake vow to stomp 'em, tromp 'em, and crush 'em 3 times, and hear such statements as, "One of the nice things about being evil is you get to lie a lot." The Great Gladiator Gig episode. The program relies on verbal insults, such as calling someone a clog in the drain pipe of happiness, or belch brains. That's hardly the behavior or language that our society deems appropriate for most business, social, or family situations. This book sounds like a teacher I used to have. I mean, I've never seen anything in my life that bitched and moaned about everything so freaking bad. But this book, my God. And now let me show you a list that is on this thing. It's a list of different things. It's a list of good television and bad television to show your children. Okay, cartoons to turn off because they portray sex, violence, and the occult. Some of the stuff in here is, let's see, He-Man, G.I. Joe, Aquaman, Transformers, Voltron, She-Ra, whatever that is, Robotech, The Mask, Rainbow Bright. What? I thought that was a commercial. And what's this? Kissy Fur? Kissy Fur? That sounds sexy. Okay, next we got the following often use occult symbols, mystical experiences, and criminal activities. Use caution. See, we got Alvin and the Chipmunks, Batman, Aquaman, Care Bears. Care Bears has pentagrams and shit. Casper, Gummy Bears. Oh, this is good. Hulk Hogan Rockin' Wrestling. Somebody find that, okay? Mighty Mouse, Muppet Show. A lot of these is stuff I've seen. Wonder Woman, Superman, Speed Racer. Could you shut up for a moment, Trixie? I'm trying to stop driving cars! Now here's the good list. These are programs we regard as acceptable. Listen to this. Bernstein Bears, Glow Friends, Popples, Davy and Goliath, Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. Now, I know this show. Oh, I've got a DVD of it. That actually is worth watching. It's not good, but it's still worth watching. See, we got this one called Potato Head Kids, the Get Along Gang, the old series of Winnie the Pooh, something called Rocky Raccoon, and a show called Foofer. Now, I've actually heard of this. I remember this when I was a kid. I rented this video that had this blue-ass dog on it, and the name of it was Foofer. I don't remember anything about the show, but I remember that. The amazing thing about this book is a lot of the cartoons it mentions in this book are made by the same company. The company is called Filmation, and it was a small independent company that later got bought by Deke, the same guys who made Mario Super Show and Sonic and crap. Let's see here. He-Man, Ghostbusters, Foofer, Brave Star, which is basically a space cowboy thing. Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. He-Man. He-Man was made by Filmation. A cartoon spin-off of Gilligan's Island. Oh, and they also made their own version of The Wizard of Oz. You must see it. It is shit. Okay, let me read this that I just read just now, looking through this book. This fucked me up. This trend, now it's talking about 75% of characters are male on television. Okay, this is what it's talking about. This trend is even more exaggerated in children's television. Only one of the Dino Riders is a woman. Apparently that's a TV show, but that was also something on a Super Mario World episode. There was only one woman in that, too. Anyway, all the original Smurfs were males, the only female in the group being a male who has undergone a sex transformation. So Smurfette was a... Oh, dear God! And here's something I want you kids to look up. In an episode of Mighty Mouse, The New Adventure, the cartoon hero is depressed because his girlfriend doesn't seem to care. He draws a handful of powder from under his cloak and inhales it, and almost immediately he is back to his normal happy self. Somebody find that clip. Plus, there's a whole chapter in this book that's completely dedicated to video games that are based on television shows. There wasn't anything that stood out in there, so I didn't read any of it. Well, shit, it's getting late. I guess this is all I'm going to do. This is Stuart K. Riley, and this has been Saturday Morning Mind Control. Give this book a read. If you see it in a pawn shop or a flea market or a Goodwill store, by all means pick it up. Not to be enlightened by the shit it has to tell you, but the bullshit it spews out of its 200 exactly pages. Well, that's all I have to say, kiddos. This is Stuart K. Riley. See y'all. Now go stuff a turkey's ass and stuff it down your ass.